Well, we're live. Where's Darren? There he
Hey,
is.
man. All right, there we go. The screen's better. Now, hopefully, the people will come back and join us here.
Yeah, it was the box right there, in the first column where it has the like three three layer boxes.
Yeah.
It was on phone or tablet. That's why it looked that way. I
Yeah.
switched it over to computer and it fixed it.
Right. When I started the stream, I was on the phone with you, and it switched back.
Hi,
Um,
Jura. Hi, Carrie.
yeah. All right, they're coming back with us. Good stuff. Good
So,
stuff.
so I had that meeting.
Yeah. What happened?
The guardian ad litem in the case was fishing for information.
Of course. Of course.
We didn't give her where I work. We didn't give her um, where I'm living. And I just got the new report that she just wrote. It's funny too because but we're looking at it and she has my birth date like so screwed up. It's not even funny. So I can call that out to my attorney tomorrow when I talk to him.
Right.
Uh,
Isn't it funny? All this stuff that they look into you, and they're supposed to be so attentive to you, and then they overlook things like your birthday or these little things. You know what I mean? And it just goes to show how they don't pay attention to detail whatsoever. Like
nope.
they're not paying attention to really what's going on in this situation.
Uh,
They're a little.
and I did find out that on the Jeopardy order they are trying to TP me.
Are they really?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's even though we know that you got a good fight and it's going to be a fight ahead. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Even though there's a lot going on like this, it's it still sucks to hear that, and it sucks to see it too. You know what I mean? Just the fact that they can actually remove your kid from you. The fact that
But
they're
but in the broad spectrum, I just got some discovery today.
what happened? What do you got? What can you say then?
Well, I can say this much, at least on open form. Um, they're they did the phone dump of that person's phone.
Yeah,
All the information came back, and one of the guys that he was talking to, um, it was born in '82. The other one, '84. The other one, '84.
so that makes them
One's older than me.
right.
One's
They're
42 and one's 40.
they're still younger than me. Um,
And she was talking to them even when she was really young.
wow, man, that's crazy. Now, what does all this do? This just proves that she was a part of this other business, right? And it wasn't. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't. That's good, man. Vinny, I hope that all this. I think like Carrie.
My attorney said it was really good information. I
Yeah.
asked him before he sent it. I
Well,
said, "Is it good or bad?" He goes, "It's really good."
I mean, there's got to be a certain degree here, dude. Right? That this was the person that you guys at one point, really were heartfelt for, and it's got to be a double burn, where you got blindsided by BS, and then now every word that they're saying is burning you guys as parents to their who they're associated with, and that's got to just be so freaking hard, man. This is like it's not just being accused, man. It's being accused by somebody on your inners, like that's got to just tear you up, man. Like
Yep. Yep.
good it feels as
Well,
it's still like damn,
not only that, we just recently found out that the oldest son, um, he is back with his ex girlfriend that he claimed was psycho, um, for the third time, and now it says my wifey.
Wow. So what does that mean? Did they get married?
Uh, we don't know.
Well, Gary, absolutely right. Let's just hope that DHS plays the same game. Because we all know right here, listening to all this stuff from Vinny, court wise, they're they're sunk. There's no defense case. There's no case to this in a criminal
There's
proceeding.
nothing to it. The evidence they supposedly said they had, they don't have because it does not exist.
Right. Yeah.
It stated like I can pull this up real quick so you guys can hear what was stated. Because after hearing that, I'm just like, wow, okay. Well, so I will let me go and pull that up real quick because he sent it to me today. It 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 boggles my mind what this thing had to say.
Mhm.
And this is straight from a police report. It states right in this police report. Gotta find it again. Oh, right here. Detective Lane. I received the data and advised that she did not believe there was anything of investigatory value at this stage.
Huh. Say that again. Read that again.
Um, I met with um, I
No,
met with Detective Lane to review the phone extraction details in uh, paragraph 12 of the report. De- Detective Lane advised that she did not believe that there was anything of investigatory value at this stage.
wow. Bravo, Vinny.
Then she goes on below, and on the analyst side of what was in that phone, they found other things that that person was doing online.
Wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, Vinny, the question everybody wants to know, what happened with the recording?
What now?
Did you record?
That record what?
The
Record the proceedings.
I didn't have to because my attorney was on the call and I had other people in the background listening. Um, so it wasn't that bad. Like he just asked me like where I work, where am I living, am I in any services? I told her I said yes, I have counseling and case management from Spurwink. Um, and I said, and I am on medication because I have a sugar problem. Um, and I'm on a antidepressant for, you know, my anxiety, but it's as needed. And after we were done telling her that information and the fact that we're been trying to get the visitations with my daughter, she goes on to say, well, your oldest daughter still don't want to see you and her mother.
No.
How are you going to come out and say that to a father? Your
Yeah.
daughter don't want to see you? That's bull.
Yeah.
Because you haven't been there since April. It says it on your report.
Yep. And you know that the people that she's with are either trying to now move towards wanting her to stay in their house. So they're not going to tell them the truth about what's being said. They're not going
I,
to.
I asked him today after we hung up with her because he hung up with her and we talked for a little bit more. I asked him today. I said, so what do you think about them denying me my visitation since the beginning? He goes, what do you mean since the beginning? And I said, go back and look at your emails that I sent you, and it states right in that email that they were supposed to have video visits to start, and then after 2 weeks, I was supposed to have in-person visits,
And they denied you those.
and they did never happen, not once.
Right. Now
So
they
he
were
asked, well, he asked me, he said, so your attorney Susie didn't file a motion? I said, no, he never filed any motions. And he shook his head.
well. There's your if you lose this, there's part of your appeal right there. There's your ineffective counsel. Um, well, that too is on a prong thing.
Well,
It's
we have I did find out we have the hearing for Jeopardy on Tuesday. The only difference is that the hearing for Jeopardy is not going to be a hearing for Jeopardy at all. We are simply walking in saying, yeah, you may be able to prove whatever under hearsay laws because they can hear hearsay in them courts.
right.
We're willing, but we do not agree, is what
Right.
we're putting.
Yeah.
Because he knows
Your lawyer
he
said
knows
that no, we're not doing any Jeopardy order because there's no Jeopardy.
right. So it does this way. It does not affect how well the criminal case is going.
Right. Well, not only that is
It's
now
a strategy.
you're making a statement saying that we never put our children in jeopardy to begin with, so we're not going to stand here and listen to you guys say that we did put our children in jeopardy.
Right, because this whole case is based only off of hearsay.
Mm-hmm.
And now it proves that with the police report.
Right. Yeah.
And it goes to show you how corrupt state police really are.
It goes to show you how corrupt all of them are. It goes to show you how arrogant, how they all sit there and they make their automatic assumption off the first get-goes. You know, we were in similar situations, same level of crime. I mean, classification, not, like in that way, but, class A felonies, all this stuff, the baddest bad and all of this stuff, and how quick they are to jump in, take your kid, don't listen to you, tell them that you're innocent, don't listen to anything, say, whoa, this isn't what it is, all of that, and they're able to jump in, take your kid, see you later, bye, now we've got you, and we're going to run you through the ringer because of this.
Well, it's not only that. I want everyone to understand something because I found this information out from my attorney today. Okay. Now, every time someone calls CPS on you, regardless if it's a school or anyone, counselors, anyone, every time they make a report, it goes in their system. When it's unfounded, they keep that report and they hold on to it for like ever. So he told me, he said he's looking down through the Jeopardy thing and he goes, there is 6 to 7 different times that they've had unfounded cases. And he said they're trying to use that as leverage in their case, but they cannot because they were unfounded.
Right. No, that's good. That's good for you, man. That's good stuff, man. That's really good stuff. That's good news. That's good. Now, what about with Mama? She's they're gonna get her free and clear too, right? Because hey, Ashley's here now too, guys. Hey, Ashley. So they're gonna make Mama go the same route, right?
Well, she's gonna do the same thing I'm doing on Tuesday.
Right.
She has to they have to file. She has to either her file a motion or her new attorney file a motion to waive jeopardy.
Yeah.
By doing that, it forces CPS to be compliant with Title 4E.
Well, no, because here's the deal. Now that they've said, now you should do an audit on them, because now that they've said that TPR is their intention for you, they should not be receiving any Title IV funding from you.
And that's what I mentioned that to him, and he goes, I need to look at that. I go, I sent it right to you. I found all this stuff in Title 4E, and I found the statutes about due process and all the other statutes about my rights that we can use in court. And he chuckled. He goes, I thought I saw some of them in there.
Yeah. Well, see, this is a good example of when it's good that you are on top of your situation. And this is what everybody should be doing, making sure that you're getting your attorney information. If you're doing the legwork, the homework, and all this stuff, make sure that you're putting this stuff in, because your attorney, listen, your attorney might not be a family law attorney. They might be a business attorney. They might be a criminal attorney. They might be any types of these. So they don't know the specifics in family law cases or things like that. So now you doing the legwork and ensuring that your attorney gets this stuff now has ensured that your attorney is working on the same level with you and with the same set of guidelines as you, and they are being let out where to look for it. It's good stuff, Vinny, all the way around, man. It's so good. It's really good. You've just given hope to a bunch of people. Well, however many will watch the show, but you've given hope to a lot of people that are like, wow, if Vinny can get this like this, so can I. Like, and that's
And it's possible. You just gotta do the legwork. Well, like I've been doing. Like I keep in contact with my attorneys, both of them.
Yep.
I check in with them every single day to find out if there's any other news or anything new. I check in with my counselor, which she's writing a letter to the court for the criminal case for me for the bail amendment, and so is my case management. So like I got people that are willing to step in and help me because they actually see the change in me. Like my counselor told me, she goes, I could they subpoenaed her for Tuesday, and she goes, here's two options we can do. Option A, I can show up to that subpoenaed on Tuesday. Option B, I send you this paper, have you sign it, and I send them only what they need to hear about your counseling, and that is it. And I don't have to go. And I said, okay.
Give us B.
I took B, because then they can't get her to be under oath or any of that because she's not in the courtroom.
Yep. That's good, Vinny. Hey, Vinny, you got a picture of you right available?
Do I?
Yeah, can you send me a picture of you real quick?
Yeah, hold on. I just took one.
And no, not one of those pictures that you send to all those girls. Just a really nice one.
I want from the waist up, not waist down, buddy.
No, I have a decent picture. Hold on. He's some crow.
Ashley, how you doing?
Just
where am I sending it to,
California?
Send it where you send it to my if you can send it to the phone number thing, send it to there.
Okay.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, just another lovely day in California. Can't really complain about it,
I mean, at least you have warm weather there now. It's like
90-something degrees today. This is my view at the moment.
So, Ashley, how's your side of the case going?
It's not a case, really. I mean, it is in my eyes, but I'm still just trying to figure out my own avenues and see what I can file and soak up and learn as much as I can right now, because I filed at a habeas corpus a little while ago, a couple weeks ago, but I haven't really heard anything back from it. I did file some paperwork for my daughter's case file, and in California you have to file a petition for it, and I was denied, which is kind of crazy. I can't have my case filed. So I have to refile it and see what I did wrong, because it wasn't denied for any reason like for service or anything like that. Everything was done correctly. It was just told me that I was denied and not allowed to have the information I was asking for, which is kind of crazy because I was just asking for her full file with everything there, all the correspondence, emails, all of that. And I asked for a couple things personal about my social workers, like how many families they reunified and things like that, and how many families have they taken, or how many kids have they taken out of the home in the last year, and how many reprimands have been done to the social workers. And I got no answers on any of those. They say that they don't keep records in the manner of which I am asking. So either I've got to reword it, or I've got to find the codes or the statutes, or watch some more depositions and figure out what they call their system in California to get into it. To ask them properly, I guess, in a request. It's stupid.
Wow. Yeah, it's just, they make you go through this. It's just nonsense, really.
Circus. You have to go through a circus to get through the hoops.
It really is.
That's why they call them kangaroo courts.
Yeah, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to a lot of this. I mean, they're administrators, they're this, they're that. It's just not. It's really
I
a
was
joke.
Yeah, I was finding out too about the void ab initio, but then also the way that the judges are signing the orders or their actual like their court orders at the end of your every hearing. They do minute orders and things like that. I
Yeah,
hear that they're signing them in their administrative power, not in their judicial power. There's
right.
a big
Yeah,
difference.
yeah.
Okay.
And I realized on mine today, every time that the judge signed the order, it said it's order recommended, and then he checked the box that says order recommended or judgment order. He would always check recommended order. And I've been trying to get a certified copy of my TPR hearing since last year, and I go to the clerk, the county, like the records department, and I ask for one, and they say that they don't carry them. They don't have them there because it's family division and it's a separate courthouse. So I said, okay, I'll go down to my courthouse. So I went down to the family courthouse, and they won't give me a certified copy at all. They do not have certified copies. So there's something with that. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to search that avenue now too, because
Well,
if you
those
can't get a
court, that's the case. Actually, those if those judgments aren't signed properly with the seal, they're supposed to be stamped. Like there's a whole thing
there's
that's
a whole
supposed to
process.
go in
Yeah.
there. Then that should null and void. That null and voids those orders. And maybe
That
there's
should
like
null and void the whole case.
maybe these are the things too that we've been talking about that are so simple that maybe
Yeah.
that it's so simple as this, that these orders that they are, like a lot of people will say, are saying that they are the courts aren't courts of record. They say that they're administrative and all this. So if there is validity to that, and they're not signing these orders properly, those orders are not good. They're not,
Yeah, those orders are null and void.
right.
Like nothing, like it never happened. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if that's the avenue that we could take, because I'm not getting anywhere with certified orders at all, and I've been denied the last 6 times. So this next letter is going to be a demand for this, and if not, then I'm going to the courthouse and I'm filing a motion to cease and assist and try to get the whole thing just thrown out.
Right.
But after that, then it's a battle with de facto parento in California, because I haven't been around for the last 2 years because they won't let me be in her life whatsoever, even phone calls. So the fact that I haven't been around for 2 years, it's kind of like abandonment,
Right.
and
Right.
that
Yeah.
whole fight now. So still a long road.
Yeah, but you know what? You're chopping it away one piece at a time. Like Vincent Davis used to say, you know how you eat an elephant? One
Biting the
bite at a
toenails.
time.
Oh, I was like, start with the toenails, start with the toes.
No, one bite at a time. you know,
Yep, you got to grow your roots before you can sprout. Let's
that's
sprout with the
right.
tree. So
You're not doing nothing, so you're doing something. You're moving, you're doing things, you're moving towards, setting them up for certain things down the road. You're covering your bases, and what's even better is the fact that your child will know that you did not fall short of trying to get them. That's
no,
for sure. Hey
no,
guys,
I
Bo's calling me here. I'm going to take this from him real quick. You guys continue talking. This is our buddy Bo Rupert. I think he wants to come on the show. Let me see here.
Yeah, it's just hard. I'm trying to at least get visitations for my other daughter so she could see her baby sister, but it's not looking promising,
They
which
don't,
sucks.
they don't let them see each other?
No, they didn't let them see each other when I had my visits because they were in 2 different counties. Even
Yeah,
though
it's
I,
law.
yeah, but I had another case open with my oldest daughter. That's the reason that CPS came in my life for my newborn. But
Right,
when that case was like after my newborn was born, 3 months later, that other case was dismissed and thrown out because there was no evidence. You would
right.
think I would have gotten my kid back then, my baby back then, but no, absolutely not. So
Um,
the fact that I had
Yeah,
an open case in a different
so
county, they didn't
so
let them.
I just found the dates of when she was last out to see both children. One was on 7/10/2024. The other one was on 6/12/2024.
Yeah.
So
Does
she
it
didn't go
say how
March.
long they had spent
It was
there?
August.
It says my youngest and my oldest, and it has a date of 9/9/2024 is when this was filed.
And they did it when?
She filed this on 9/9/24. That doesn't make sense to me because at 9/9/24, how did you know you were going to see her?
Yeah.
There's a lot of smoke and mirrors in this whole guardian thing.
Yeah. I mean, they're the. I was talking to someone yesterday, and did you know? And I'm pretty sure that I'm 89% right on this, unless things have changed over the past year. But CPS has had them go through an astronomical amount of hair follicle tests. They've had them go through, the urine screenings, even so much as the saliva test, skin tests, all of these things, and they keep. Shoot, I just lost my train. They keep asking them to go through them, but the only people that are allowed to, so a judge cannot order a hair follicle test, and nor can a caseworker. Did you know that?
I did not.
I do not.
Guardian ad litem. Now, a guardian ad litem can order the hair follicle test, and the judge can follow suit with what the recommendation is, but a judge cannot order anything other than a urine screen themselves. And same thing with a caseworker.
Also, the company that CPS uses for their drug screenings is called Aver Health. Everywhere, all over the states, they're everywhere. That company is very well known for throwing out false positives with tests. In fact, a
Yep.
girl in Michigan fought a CPS case because she took a drug test and it came out positive, but when she took it at a different facility, it came out negative. And they had this big old lawsuit, and it was like it came out to be 35% of the tests that come out of there are false positives.
Wow.
So
That's
if you can use a different facility, please, please do. Do not go to their facilities and test if you have to for whatever reason.
right. You're going in there
Okay,
setting
it's mom.
Aver Health, do not use them.
It's just
Yeah.
mom.
Let me see here. Let's see.
It was funny in my case. I went and tested, I think once or twice at the Aver Health, and then I found out about the false positives. So I didn't go anymore. I just went and tested at a different facility, and I had to call a phone number every day. And if my color was called or number was called, then I'd have to go test that day randomly. And so I
Right.
would just go to another facility. And I went to LabCorp, which is very well known in California,
Yep.
Quest Diagnostics, which is all over the place as well. And they would not take those test results,
What's no?
no matter
No.
how
They don't.
hard I pushed it. And even when I filed the paperwork myself online, my lawyer went back online and took them off of my fucking record. I'm sorry, language. But
It's
yeah,
passionate.
so yeah, it's dirty.
That's right. I think Bo might join us here in a minute, guys. Yeah, so look into those things if you guys are looking for those statutes or whatever. If a judge has ordered you without the recommendation of anybody, any sort of a hair follicle, or your caseworker says they want a hair follicle, they cannot do that. It is just only a judge. And the other thing is this: is these at home drug tests that they're doing. Those are not
Yeah, that's
admissible.
illegal.
Right. That's totally
100%
illegal.
illegal.
Now, what they are going to do is your urine's going to pop up. You already know that this is some sort of farce to make this, ingest into these tests or whatever. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know where I went with that. I lost it.
I hate that. No, I hate those moments.
Totally, I was reading this thing right here,
Oh, I found out some really interesting definitions in Black's Law today.
Did you?
Do you guys know the definition of person in Black's Law? You would think human being, right? like a human
Right.
being. No, in Black's law, a person is a corporate fiction, legally speaking, the only person in America the government sees as a corporation. So person means corporation.
Oh,
You
no kidding.
look up the word human in Black's law. Oh, this is, I think, the 6th edition. Yeah, human in Black's law, you would think person. No, it says sea monster, like the ocean sea
Yeah.
monster. So you go to the word monster, and the word monster's definition is one that cannot own or inherit property.
Mm,
How crazy is that? And then if you look up the word job, you would think let's place you work. Nope, it's
yeah.
a public business for private dishonest gain. Dishonest gain. What the hell? That's a little odd. It is freaking crazy the things that you can learn.
Yeah. And it's all
But
right there at the tip of your fingers.
yeah,
You know, like all this information, and including in my book. Um, you know, this information is given right at the tip of fingers. You know, like it's there for you guys to absorb, and it's there for you guys. I mean, I'm sure most of you on here are just like us, that you have 20,000 files. You know, your computer is just a CPS fight extravaganza, if you will. You know, because you spend time reading, learning, saving, reading, learning, saving, reading, saving, learning. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Um, it's just that's just that. Let's see
they said
here.
knowledge is power when we were young. Little did we know that they were giving it to us at our fingertips.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they can't really hide it anymore. You know, like they can't really hide behind these things, because we have cameras and we have phones and we have access. We have social media. You know, what they don't want is to be exposed to their fullest extent. You know, so they allow us to have some kind of control, if you will, if they even do. I'm all set with challenging that on the,
Very
but
true.
right. Um,
But with their God or who they worship, they have to tell us in their ways, so that way they don't have to pay reprimands for it later. Like in
right.
their God or their
Hey,
our guy that they pray for, it's weird.
hey, hey, Darren, I want to know if you know about this statute, S301.
Uh,
SB 301.
that's 301. I don't know.
Action for alienation of affection prohibited. A person is not liable to any other person in a civil action for the cause of alienation of affections. Rule 2901, author's authenticity or identification evidence in general to satisfy the court.
Mm,
Um, and then it states the main constitution states that all people are born free and independent and have certain natural rights, including the right to life, liberty, property, and happiness. That's
nice.
a main state law and constitution.
Yep. That's it, man.
Yes, Terry. I'm sorry. I do have Sean McMillan's information, and I'm a member as well. He's got some great depositions and templates and things on there that are out of this world. But thank you, I appreciate that.
I'm sure you know about the FOAA, the
Are
main
these just
freedom of
Yeah.
the
are these
main
just for me?
the Freedom of Access Act.
Yeah. Every state has those. You go to the
Every
what's the
department has them too.
right. You go to the inspector general's site. You can go anywhere and get those. You know, to the specific departments, like Ashley just said. Um, so I mean, that's the only way, and I suggest everybody be doing that. You know, you should, because you want to get everything possible that you can, every bit of information that you can get, that either that you see that they have, that you need to have, where you can find their strongholds. And Vinny, what you need to do is get yourself a piece of paper and write out an affidavit for yourself to submit to it and tell them the true side of the story. That way, if they don't submit it within the X amount of days, it becomes matter of law. And bada bing, bada boom, you made your own record. So make sure that you're doing that
Yep.
too.
That
Get
I
back.
didn't even think about that for everybody's case.
Well, I've submitted.
I've not done
I
that yet.
submitted my motion to dismiss. So,
Right.
I'm pretty sure the criminal side she has that motion.
Right. Okay, good.
And I also submitted a couple other things along with USD 241 and 242
Mm-hmm.
because I served the Portland District Court as well.
Oh, wow. You're all over.
I went that far, dude.
Yeah, that's good. No, dude, then you know what? That's your children, man. You got to fight for your kids no matter what. You're a pure vision of that. You know, the one that's standing through this fight, being accused of the most heinous thing that you could possibly be accused of, and knock on wood, but maybe coming out with your head tall.
It's looking that way.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
I'll tell you what, when it does all come out in the wash, everyone always thinks that, just because I want to file the class action against them, that I want
Right.
their money. It's not
Yeah.
about money at this point. I really
What's
do
your
not care about the money. I'm going after them for me losing my job, me
Yeah.
having
Your
to sit
character,
in
yeah.
a jail cell, demolishing my name across the country.
Yeah.
And traumatizing my entire family right down to my mother.
Yep. Yeah.
And you have a right to do that, for sure.
Yeah. Yes, you do, and that's protected under the First Amendment.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So
And the
Freedom of
Fifth
speech.
Amendment.
there's a lot of that stuff. Where's Durham here? We don't have Durham in tonight, huh?
What
I
happened to
didn't
Herbert?
see him come in.
Herbert's here.
Herbert's
I think.
here. Right there. There he
He's
is.
just quiet tonight.
Don't
I'm here.
give us-
No, I'm here. You didn't bring me
Hi,
in.
Herbert.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Hello.
Been better. Been
Hello.
same different toilet seat,
How are things going?
Same shit, different toilet seat. Just a new day.
Okay, you're California, right?
Yes, sir.
No, that's
Okay, I'm next
Ashley.
door to you. Oh, that's Ashley. Okay. Ashley, you're in California, am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm next door to you. I'm in Arizona.
Oh, you're right around the corner.
You guys are neighbors.
Yes, that's correct.
You guys can have dinner.
Carrie was suggesting an attorney service. Vinny, maybe you could read what Carrie had to say?
Yes, Sean McMillan.
That's the caps. What is it called? Cloaks and what is it? Caps and stems.
Stems Law. CAPSNSTEPS Law. He's got a really good Patreon channel. He's on Rumble, on Discord. He's got a lot of platforms and YouTube.
Yeah, he tells you how to do stuff, right? Doesn't he like explain
Yeah,
you how to?
On his Patreon, he actually gives out templates, and you can look through the things that he's actually filed, his motions, his affidavits, their responses from CPS and depositions. He has all that posted for certain cases.
Hey, let's take a look. Why don't we take a look? I just found this video. Let's take a look at this video.
He's the case references, and then he'll do like a CPS breakdown, like a breakdown of the day. And he'll break down the whole entire case on how he questioned him, how he got to the questions that he asked the CPS social worker.
When I found out about their help, I was so stoked because I was finally going to be able to find a therapist that understood.
Good evening, everybody. I'm looking at viewers, and there are literally 0 viewers here. So I'm talking. Maybe there's a lag because I think Mrs. here.
The bummer is he comes on at 6:30 every night, and that's California
there's
time.
one more. Now there's
right
3.
about
Here we go.
2 minutes ago,
Anyway,
and I get to miss
good
it live
evening,
every
everybody.
night.
I hope you had a good week. This Friday, June 2nd, 2023, 6:30 p.m. Tonight's going to be volume 2, part 2 of the wonderful, lovely, and talented Michelle Loya Chabra, who is Michelle Loya Chabra? Well, she's a social worker for County of Los Angeles. I don't know that she still is. This step was like 10 years ago or 9 years ago. But I believe she was the seizing social worker in this case, seized kids without a warrant at the grandmother's home, and then got sued because of it. So anyway, that's who we're talking to tonight. Just some notes for reminders for people who haven't been with us before, or maybe haven't been with us in a while. James has uploaded new material to Patreon. So
Now, does it
check
cost
that
money to
out.
Patreon,
If you are
Ashley?
not a Patreon subscriber, you should be. If,
What was that?
probably if and only if, you are
How much does
either a
Patreon
pro
cost?
se litigant or
He has
an
three different
attorney looking
like
to get into
gold
this
and
area of
platinum,
the law.
and then
There is no
silver,
reason
and
to
then
reinvent the wheel.
bronze.
We're putting up a lot of work.
I think one of them $3, $4, $8, and then $12, all the way up to $36,
all there
I
for the
believe.
taking.
But it's,
Yep.
We keep
you don't need the
price
36 because
cheap so
that's
everybody
way
can
too
afford
much
it.
for what he gives
So
you. You
anyway,
can get it
that's
all
the
for,
Patreon plug.
I think, $8 a month is
If you
what I
have
pay.
any
And I
questions
get
as we're going through the video tonight, or any other video on the channel, or anything else that you are wondering about, please do email those questions into capsandstemslaw@gmail.com. That's CAPSANDSTEMSLAW@gmail.com. And we will try to answer select questions during the live streams during the week. Usually it'll come at the end. Sometimes I go through the comments and try to answer them while we're on the fly, just to save time at the end. But not always, it's just whatever kind of floats my boat at the time. Remember, for Patreon subscribers, you get priority questions answered. So we'll respond to them if you send them to us through the messages tab in Patreon. It's on the Patreon page itself. For everybody asking questions, please do keep your questions general. I can't respond with anything that even resembles legal advice. So if your questions are case specific, like to your situation, I'm not going to respond to them. I can't do it. Anyway, those are the normal read on things. Oh, here's another one. Visit our Caps and Stems Law Shopify. Let's see what we got there. At https://CAPSNSTEMSLAW.
I love how he spells everything out. It's so funny.
Right,
He's just such
with
an
that, no further
untechnology
ado,
person. It's great.
Let's go right into Michelle Loya Chabra Volume 2, Part 2. She's 30 minutes long, and I will try to insinuate myself into the video to give tips and pointers along the way. So here we go. God, we got a lot of viewers tonight. 4. Damn. Well, thank you to our loyal viewers. At least I'm not. What were you doing in 2010 besides working on the MART team?
No, I was just going to say assumes fact, but you may answer.
Okay,
you may
okay.
answer, of course.
At that time,
In 2010.
yes.
Yeah.
At that time, there were several regions within our county that were experiencing a great deal of what was called over 30, over 60 referrals.
You're going to have to explain that to me.
Okay.
This lady just annoys the crap out of me when she
more
talks. She's
referrals,
like so broad about
requests
her
for
answers.
investigations coming in than there were social workers available to address them. My unit at the time, we were requested to help the different regions throughout
Almost like
LA
she's
County.
programmed to read it this way.
Sort of like a roving support group or something?
We were each assigned a distinct office, and we would be responsible for receiving requests for investigations, referrals that would come in.
Doesn't it seem like she's
And was that sort of
hearing off an earpiece and answering it?
basis to
Yeah.
assist
Seems
that
like it's
region,
like
or
the
were you the
Biden,
primary investigator
Biden,
for that region?
We
debate.
were
Yeah.
there as an overflow. It was a temporary project.
Because she's just stopped in weird parts of the sentence. Weird.
Were you an emergency response worker or investigator?
Yes.
But you were assigned to a particular region on a temporary basis to deal with their overflow.
Yes, sir, I was.
Okay. What region was that in August 2010?
That was the Metro North office.
And you actually had an office there at the Metro North office.
I was housed there.
Okay.
Oh,
What's that address?
shut up.
It was Wilshire Boulevard. I don't recall. 500 Wilshire Boulevard.
I won't hold you to it. We can look. we
Yeah,
can
I'm
Google it or
sorry.
something.
Yeah.
As long as I know Wilshire Boulevard.
Just like
Okay.
a bunch of kids.
And you had a desk actually there with a computer and file and everything.
I did.
How long were you there?
I was housed in that office, bless you, from approximately 2009 until the time when we moved out of that location into the current location.
Do you know when that was?
That was, I've been in my current location in approximately 2 years.
So like 2000, towards the end of 2012-ish?
That sounds about right.
Okay, going back now to that email system that we were talking about earlier, I just want to make sure that you're doing more or less the same stuff then that you're doing now. And so that, I mean, if you're off in, I don't know, CalFresh or something now, obviously your emails would not be the same character as what you were getting back then. So I just want to make sure we're talking about apples and apples.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So going back to the Outlook email system where you're getting 10 to 20 per day, and we talked a little bit about the management issues already. Were those the same sorts of management issues that you would get in your emails back in 2000, the 2010 time period? Obviously not bed bugs, because I don't think you had bed bugs. Unless you did.
We
have
had
bed
rats.
bugs.
We had rats.
Probably not as bad as bed bugs.
I don't know.
Well, at least rats, you can put a trap out or something.
Right.
But it was more or less the same sorts of management issues.
I believe so.
And what about court decisions? When you say court decisions, what do you mean by that? Do you mean appellate decisions?
No, there would be emails from courts regarding, it could be situations like visitation or a pending court date.
And those emails from court, who at the court was sending you those emails?
It would typically be the court officer, or it could also be county counsel.
Okay. And just for my own edification, correct me if I'm wrong, but the court officer is actually a social worker who's stationed in a particular courtroom, sort of like a liaison between the court and social services. Am I getting that right?
Yes, that's correct.
So when you say court officer, it's not the judge sending you an email.
No, the judge does not send emails.
Right. And it's not the judge's clerk sending you emails either. It's your actual social worker assigned to that courtroom.
That would be correct.
Do you recall whether or not you received any emails from the court officer in 2010 relating in any way to the Ferguson matter?
I don't recall.
But that's something that happens on a fairly regular basis, isn't it? Where the court officer will send you an email relative to whatever happened or is going to happen in court in relation to a particular case.
It's not fairly typical. Sometimes the court officer will contact a supervisor or they'll contact another unit to provide them with the court's orders over the phone.
Well, I'm not really talking about over the phone. I'm talking about emails. You told me a little bit earlier that sometimes you get emails, and you got emails in 2010 relative to court decisions. And then you explained to me that those emails would be from the court officer talking about what happened in court that day, or a scheduled hearing, or information about particular cases. Did I get that right?
That's correct.
I'm sorry. I'm having allergy issues.
Those are not fun.
No, it's not. So what I'm wondering is, in 2010, do you recall whether or not you received any emails from the court officer relative to the juvenile dependency case concerning Kennedy or goods? And just for the record, I hope you'll stipulate to this, that everywhere where the names of the children appear, we can substitute RK for Kennedy and KG for goods.
So stipulated.
Okay, you got that? Okay. And so my question again, I think it was whether or not you recall having received any emails from the court officer relative to the juvenile dependency action that related to RK and or KG.
I don't recall.
Okay. Did you search your Outlook for any emails that would have been responsive to that? Any emails related to RK or KG?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Are you aware of whether or not the County of Los Angeles archives your emails?
Oh, crap.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
My bad.
Right, nobody's electrocuted. That's the whole idea.
As long as we didn't. Yeah.
That's fine. Yes.
The
we may
time
go off
is
the record.
approximately 10:57 a.m. We're off the record.
As long.
The time is approximately 10:59 a.m. We're back on the record.
Okay, sorry about that. I was asking, at least I think I was asking, whether or not you know whether the County of Los Angeles archives any of your emails or email communications.
I'm aware that that is something that occurs.
That they do.
Yes.
Did you ask anybody at any point in time, once you found out that you were being sued, did you ask anybody to go back and look through those email archives to locate any emails that you may have sent or received that related in any way to Miss Ferguson?
No, I did not.
Did you ask anybody at any point in time after you were sued to go back and look through those email archives to see if they could locate any emails that you sent or received related to either RK or KG?
No, I did not.
Okay. How about in relation to this notice of deposition? After you read and understood what was being requested of you in this notice of deposition, did you ask anybody other than your attorney? Did you ask anybody to go back and look through the Los Angeles County email archives of your emails to determine whether or not you had documents responsive to this request?
I did not.
Okay. And the reason you did not is because you didn't know you needed to?
Well, you may answer the question, and it's argumentative in form, but you may answer the question.
Okay.
I mean, to the extent you did a search.
Yeah, I did conduct a search on my own, and I did not find anything.
But the search you did on your own was on your own Outlook, correct?
Yes.
You did not go into Los Angeles County's archives and search their archives.
No, I did not.
And you didn't ask anybody to go search Los Angeles County's electronic archives.
That's correct.
Okay.
And I'll make the same representation. If there's something of an archival nature that is there, I think the request would certainly cover that. We thought everything was produced. If there's more, the same stipulation would apply.
Sure, I appreciate that. Let's see, make sure I got everything I wanted here. Did you at any point in time fill out a suspected child abuse report with regard to RK?
Could you please expound on what you mean by fill out a child abuse report?
Well, when you report suspected child abuse, first of all, you're a mandated reporter, correct?
That is correct.
What does that mean to you according to your training and experience?
That means if I am aware that there is child abuse, I have to report it.
No, but here's,
Let me make sure that I understand this correctly. When you say if you are aware there is child abuse, are there some limitations to that? According to your training and experience.
It's vague and ambiguous, but you may answer the question, Michelle, based on your experience.
Okay. Are you asking me if there are limitations on what I could report?
Yeah, on the circumstances under which you're required to report by law.
I think that's vague and ambiguous. If you understand, you may try to answer the question.
Yeah, I'm
Otherwise-
sorry, I don't.
Okay. No, that's okay. We can try again. Well, you understand that as a mandated reporter, if there are circumstances that you're aware of that would cause a person to believe a child is being abused and you don't report, that's a crime, right? Failure to report?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Okay, and it's actually punishable, I believe, by some jail time and some fines, correct?
Assuming that's what the statute says, he's asking for your understanding.
According to your training and experience, if you've had training that says something else, then I'd like to know what that training is.
No, that is accurate.
Okay. So it's your understanding based on your training and experience that where there is reasonable suspicion that a child is being abused or neglected, you have to report that suspected abuse or neglect, correct?
That is correct.
And if you don't, it's a crime, correct?
Again, that's calling for sort of a legal interpretation based on.
I don't know if anybody
Based
can
on
see,
your
but
training.
there are dolphins right out.
Based on
They're
your training and
swimming.
experience. I'm not asking you to
Like
tell
2
me
or
what
3
the
of
law
them.
is. I'm saying based on the training that you've had with the County of Los Angeles and your experience.
Kind of cool.
If there is evidence to support your reasonable belief that a child is either being abused or neglected, and you don't report it, it's a crime.
That is true.
Okay. Now, there were 2 parts to that. One was abuse, and one was neglect. What is your understanding, based on your training and experience with the County of Los Angeles as an emergency response worker? What is your understanding as to what is meant by the term abuse?
The term of abuse could be physical abuse, could be sexual abuse, emotional abuse, which would be characterized, a child is present when incidents of domestic violence occur.
Is that it, under the category of abuse?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and then when we said the second component part was neglect, what does that mean according to your training and experience?
General neglect could be a child is not provided with adequate shelter, food, clothing, medical attention. It could be that a child's well-being is being affected by a parent's substance or alcohol abuse. And it could also be a child's well-being is affected if a parent is not able to provide care. For instance, they are either arrested, incarcerated, abandon their children.
Under that category, where a parent is incarcerated, let's say, let's use that as an example since that seems somewhat apropos, the parent is entitled as a matter of law, are they not, to make arrangements for the care of their child?
Well, again, that's
according to your training and experience, correct?
Let me just get the parameters here.
Jesus Christ. This guy is like out of control. He needs to just state a legal objection and shut the fuck up. It's really that simple. I don't know why I let him do all this. I should have just gone into court, should have called the judge, all kinds of things I should have done to just shut this shit down.
I mean, that's kind of a hypothetical, and you're asking a legal question, Sean, so I'm just trying to scope out. I mean, she's here as a defendant. You sued her, Leanna has sued her, and she was involved in the care, but I'm just a little concerned about the scope. But you may answer the question, Michelle, based on your experience. I'm not asking, I know you're not a lawyer, so he's not asking you for a legal opinion, but you can have, it's your understanding in terms of what your experience and training is, okay?
Well, let's do this first. Part of your job as an emergency response worker, and this was part of your job back in 2010 as well, is to receive reports of suspected child abuse and go out and investigate them, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And what you're looking for as an investigator, you're going out to see whether or not, for example, a child there's evidence that a child is either being abused or neglected, just as by way of example, correct?
That would be correct.
And when you're looking for abuse, that includes the things that you just told me, right? The physical, sexual, emotional abuse, among other things.
Well,
it's correct.
I mean, it's asked and answered. Go ahead, and if you can answer it in any other way, go ahead.
Okay.
And then I want to answer the question,
okay.
Then I want to take a quick break.
Can you answer the question?
Yeah, let's have her reread it.
Thank you.
Question, okay, and when you're looking for abuse, that includes the things that you just told me, right? Physical, sexual, emotional abuse, among other things.
Thank you. Yes.
Did you want to take a break?
Yeah, just a quick one. It's 11:05. I'm sorry. Oh, no, you're doing that, right?
The time is approximately 11:09 a.m. We're off the record.
Oh, 11:09.
All right. So there's a little bit of what he's all about, the CAP system stuff. I'm sure that there's probably more. I've seen other ones that he's more. But everybody should check him out because he's got a lot of knowledge. He's got a lot of stuff. And I was writing him an email actually right then when we were just watching the show. So that was some good stuff. So pay attention to him. You know what was nice was that they went over those definitions. You know, you got to hear from a caseworker's point what the definitions were. You know.
He has another case that's with the Orange County, most knowledgeable person in Orange County with social services, and his deposition is really interesting. I'll have to get his name, Bill something, or Bob. I forget which one is his name, but I'll have to get his name. I'll have to tell you because it's a really interesting one. He tells you a lot of interesting things about their system and how they operate. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Very nice. Let's see what's Herbert's saying here. Let's see. Yeah, Herbert.
He's there.
He's here. What's going on with Herbert here? Herbert, you're in here, dude. What do you need to say, buddy?
Yes, I know. I'm here. I'm listening to everything. I can't put my camera on right now, but I've been listening to everything.
I know, but we were reading your chat here, and you were trying to say some things. You just didn't come in. So, yeah, that was it. That was that. So that all being said, I think we have had a little no night tonight. Get ready for tomorrow.
I just want to may I make a statement?
Yeah,
I
go
was
ahead.
listening to that tape. I was listening to the tape. And I was listening to the lady responding, and she's really not clear on what her duties are.
Yeah, right. You think she was vague there?
I said she's not clear on what her responsibilities are as a mandator.
Right. And I said she was very vague.
Her vagueness is because she don't know. She's
Right.
not. She's not thoroughly understand. She doesn't really understand what her job is.
And isn't that something, right?
Well, I picked that up immediately.
Can you imagine not knowing what your job was or your duties were?
I think that's how they
Probably,
scoop these people up. Is they don't know anything about it, and they just don't know what their profession could be. So they're like, "Oh, I'll go into social work." And I think that's just how they swoop up all the stupid people. To be honest.
right. Well, let's go with the stupid people. And the thing is, they're very low paid, and CPS just picks them up. I mean, that lady was reading. She didn't read. I don't think she read, but it was out of a textbook. Her response was textbook response.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Definitely coached.
Yeah. I'll put it this way. Maybe she was coached prior to talking, but she forgot what she was coached about.
Yeah. I agree.
That's a fact there. Now that's concerning, right? Like that's just we just took one random shot at seeing what these people have to say, and in that one instance, boom, like this woman didn't know her ass from her elbow.
Yep. Oh, she's got a lot on there. They're really good.
How many people out there are just like that, in this position?
And it's a good thing to watch before you go to court for any kind of hearing that you're a social worker that you can call to the stand, because you can get a lot of good questions in from his way of questioning. You can get a good answer from him. Maybe catch him up in a lie. Catch him slipping.
Yes, ma'am. All right, guys. Let's. Vinny's ready for some last words here, so let's. I'm fine with that. Want to lead him out, Vinny?
Obviously, the usual rant, but I changed it up a bit. So I believe that the universe is always listening. And in this entire case, the universe is starting to realize what is actually going on. So to you parents that are watching and everyone out there, I don't care who you are and how bad your cases are, keep fighting. Do not give in. Do not let them take your kids. This is our legacy, not theirs. So with that said, hate your caseworkers just as much as you hate their nasty supervisors.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that. Ashley, last words?
As always, never give up. Don't ever stop fighting for your kids. Suicide is definitely not an option for anybody. I hope no family comes to that, but if you do, call one of us. I'm sure we will pick up the phone. And don't live your life for you. You can't forget about that, because if you're not well and you can't take care of yourself, you're definitely not going to be able to take care of your kids.
Yes, very good. I like that. Herbert, last words, buddy.
Yeah. Okay. I'm bouncing a little bit off of what some stuff that Vinny was saying, and that it makes me think that people have to be very careful with their children. Um, you could be in the house having a loud discussion with your husband or wife, whatever. Your next door neighbor hears that, and it sounds like you're having an argument, a heated argument, and you're not. And they may call CPS on you. So you have to be very, very careful of your surroundings when you have children. And this is something I was talking to one of the guests. She knows who she is, where she was having a heated discussion, and CPS called. Neighbors called CPS on her, and the police and everything, saying that they were having a fight. And in fact, they were not having a fight. They were just having a heated discussion. And the child that she has was playing at the neighbor's house. And you know who I'm talking about, okay? And the child was playing at the neighbor's house. The neighbor wouldn't let her child go back home because she was afraid that she would let the child home to a unfit situation. So that neighbor called CPS rather than letting the individual's child go back to the house because she felt that something was going on, something was wrong. So with that said, you got to be aware of all that CPS looks for, how they deal with stuff, and try to not make yourself a victim of CPS. Or if you are a victim of CPS, don't make it worse because it'll just go against your case. And that's all I have to say. And be safe out there.
That's right. Right.
Parents need to mind their own businesses and their own families.
Well, yeah, exactly. They need to mind their own businesses, right? And the person I'm talking to, she knows who she is. So we had a discussion, and I'm just bouncing that off on the show based on what she told me.
Yeah.
And that's a very good thing. The neighbors she should have made jumped to some conclusion and not let her child go back to the house, thinking that the child would be put in danger when they were not even having a fight. The husband, the wife, the girlfriend, the boyfriend, they weren't having a fight. They were just having loud discussion.
Yeah, it happens, right?
They were having loud discussion, but the neighbor thought they were having a fight and they would hold on to their child and not let them go back to the house because they felt, oh, I can't let you go back to your house because your parents are fighting, and they weren't fighting.
Right. Hey, that's what we got to pay attention to is nosy ass people, man.
Yep.
Just say this. Stay tuned for tomorrow night. We got one more night here of CPS Victims Hunting Justice. And then we got Saturday. We have CPS Talk with Vinny. So keep it on and do what you got to do to keep CPS out of your life. I'm the CPS Punisher. We're out of here.
They was taken with lies. CPS telling stories trying to ruin our lives. My kid was kidnapped. It was all for the cash, a foster kid, child ring. Man, I swear it's all bad. My kid was kidnapped. It was all for the cash. My kid was kidnapped. It was all for the cash. My kid was kidnapped. They was taken with lies.
It started with the way I look, progressed to how I carried it. They couldn't stand a man like me, could understand what marriage is. Providing for my wife and kids the way that I inherited. Mama raised a man that don't know nothing but to care the kids. How can they just come and take what's mine and I ain't caught a case? Never had with CPS, but still my rights were stripped away. Fighting for my right to parent cause I got tats upon my face. See through all your blatant lies, I be the one y'all love to hate. It's wrong what y'all out here doing, lying, taking people's kids. Breaking up a happy home cause y'all don't like the way we live. Long as we providing no abuse, then y'all should mind your biz. Stop messing with my right to live. You're breaking laws, release my kids. Tired, I can take it, this is real and I'ma bear it all. Lawyers, they appointed me, never even took my calls. They falsify my drug screens, flat out lied and that ain't all. This whole case a cover up and they ain't gotta follow laws. Kidnapped.
They was taken with lies. CPS telling stories trying to ruin our lives. My kids was kidnapped. It was all for the cash. I'm foster kid, child rape. Man, I swear it's all bad. My kids was kidnapped. They was taken with lies. CPS telling stories trying to ruin our lives. My kids was kidnapped. It was all for the cash. I'm foster kid, child rape. Man, I swear it's all bad. My kids was kidnapped. They was taken with lies. CPS telling stories trying to ruin our lives. My kids was kidnapped. It was all for the cash, I'm foster kid, child rape. Man, I swear it's all bad. My kids was
Reaching out for
kidnapped.
help, come on tell me, do y'all feel my pain? Watch my wife cry herself to sleep and I can do a thing. On the verge of losing it, swear I'm about to go insane. Praying that I have the strength to make it through another day. Can't begin to understand all the stuff my kids go through. The pain they feel or what they think for real, it's hard to bear the truth. Snatched away, place with strangers, broke me when I heard the news. Rotting in a prison cell for something I ain't even do. The fight is real and we won't stop till all our kids is coming home. Playing games but they ain't know they dealing with the king of thrones. Lawyered up, got a pit bull, yeah, now it's really on. He did take my family back and trust me, we don't stand alone. This right here's for everyone who going what we going through. Be the voice for all of y'all, the pain y'all feel, I feel it too. This is wrong, it's time for change, pushing hard to make the news. Austin, Trinity, Kiard, Bella, Hope, Candace, one's for you.
Kidnapped.